up on our mat. We're coming into our roll down. So that's where we've got our feet hip width apart, arms along by our side. Look to in front of you. And from here, just take an inhale, a deep belly breath. And as you exhale, we're going to nod our chin to our chest. We're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. And keep your hips in line with your knees and your ankles. If you need to, if the hammies are tight, you can have a slight bend in the knees. And then exhaling, using your lower abdominals, re-stack up nice and tall. And then again, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see where my hips are. You're going to nod your chin to your chest, keeping the hips in line with everything. We're not sticking the bottom back. We're keeping it nice and in line. You can bend through the knees slightly. And then exhale, re-stack up nice and tall. Engaging those lower abdominals that we've been talking about this week. One more time, exhaling, nodding the chin to the chest, rolling down, arms are nice and heavy, opening up through the back and the backs of the legs, exhaling, re-stacking up nice and tall. The last thing to lift is our head. So from here, we've still got our feet hip width apart. We're going to step out into our squat position, squat down, exhaling, pressing through both feet, draw the feet together. And then we're stepping out in the other direction. Squat, exhaling, drawing up. Inhaling to come down, exhaling, drawing up. So just warming up the legs here, getting that heart rate up and working through those glutes. It's always nice to warm the body up when we start the lesson. Sticking the butt back, inhaling, coming down, exhaling, drawing up. Using your breath. Getting down a little lower. And we've still got our lower abdominals drawing back towards our spine. So as you can see, we're stepping back, sticking the bottom out, but we've got one long line from the crown of our head to our tailbone. Using your breath, stepping out, inhaling and exhaling. We've got 6 more here. We've got our last 5. We've got 4. Using your glutes, 3 to go. 2, and our last one here. So our feet are hip width apart. We're coming into our squats, but we're adding in a little heel raise. So working those calves as well. Inhaling, and then exhaling, drawing up. As you squat back, make sure that your knees are in line with your second toe. We don't want the knees opening out like this, or we don't want them knocking in. We want to create one long line with our lower extremities. That way, we're just teaching it correctly. Inhaling, exhaling, adding in that heel lift. Shoulders are down, chest is wide. A little squeeze of the bottom as you come up. And come up nice and high into the balls of the feet. So you're using your ankle mobility as well. Let's do 5 more like this. We've got our last 4, nice and strong through the belly. We've got 3 to go. Our last 2, shoulders are down. And our last one here, adding that heel lift. Now you can either continue with this, the little heel lift that we were just doing, or you're going to add in a little jump. Now jump up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here, hold it down here. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 more jumps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here, standing up tall. Heart rate should be up. All right, coming into our wide V position. We're coming into our wide step outs. So step that leg out, draw it back in, stepping out to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, our knees in line with our second toe. Using your breath. Opening up those hips. Our belly's in, shoulders are down, chest is wide. Inhaling and exhaling. Heart rate still up from those little jumps. Great, let's do 6 more here. We've got our last 5. We've got 4 to go, starting to feel the inner thighs. 3. Our last 2. And our last one here. Open out wide again. We're coming into those heel lifts. Inhaling and then exhaling, lifting up. Inhale, exhaling, and exhaling. Shoulders are down, chest is wide. And again, the knees are tracking over those second toes. As you lift up onto the balls of the feet, feel like your kneecaps are drawing up towards your hips. Inhaling and exhaling. Can we do 6 more here? We've got our last 5, because we know what's coming next. 4 to go. Our last 3, legs are long, belly's in. 2 to go. And our last one here. Are you ready for the jumps? We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, a little bit lower for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, 10 more jumps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, nice work, come up. Shake out those legs. Heart rate is up. All right, coming back. So our feet are in parallel. Bend through both knees, hands onto the hips. We're coming into our crab walks. So we're stepping out towards the right for 3. Last one. And stepping over to our left. This one's a little bit longer. We're walking the width of the mat. Bend a little bit deeper. Stepping away, shoulders are down, chest is wide, gaze is forward. Using your breath, sticking out your bottom. Regaining control of your breath too. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling throughout the mouth. Bend that little bit deeper. Last one over this side. Stepping. And we've got our last one here. Back towards center. Really stacking up nice and tall. I'm going to face towards the side because we're coming into our lunges. From here, feet are hip width apart. You're going to inhale, step back with your right leg. Bend down. Exhale, draw back up. Inhale, use that same leg. Come down. We've got a nice bend throughout that left knee. Nice and steady throughout our torso. Using your breath. Driving up through that left leg. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Starting to feel it through the left glute. Inhaling, exhaling. 6 more here. Then we're coming into our pulses. We've got our last 4. 3 to go. 2, feeling it through the quad. The last one here, stepping back, holding it here. Whoop. We've got 10 pulses. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up tall, swapping over to the other side. Stepping back with your left leg and drawing up. Inhaling and exhaling. Working in that balance on that right leg. It's a little bit fatigued, but we're gaining control with our lower abdomen. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, stepping back, drawing up. Working through that right leg, the quad, and the glutes. Using your breath. We have 6 more to go. Our last 5. Gazes forward. 4. 3 to go. Our last 2. Last one here. Stepping back again. Tiny little pulses for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up tall. Shake out those legs, because on the next one, we're going to do some jump lunges. If that's too much for the knees, just step back and alternate legs. Otherwise, we're stepping back into our lunge position and we're jumping for 10. So we're switching those legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one here, standing up. Nice work. Heart rate is through the roof and we're coming into our modified burpees. Again, feet go hip width apart. Coming up onto our heels, reaching those arms long, lowering the heels. Palms come to the ground, step back. Draw those feet back in. Lifting up the heels, lift up the arms. Let's do 8 more here in our own time. Using your breath for 7. We've got 6. 5 to go. Working those calves. Our last 4. We've got 3. Our last 2. And 1 more here, stepping back. Holding that plank here for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower yourself down to the floor and release the arms. Nice, legs are long behind you. Forehead's on, your nose is touching the mat. Reach the arms out long. Your shoulders are going to roll forward. From here, I want you to inhale. Roll the humeral head back, so rolling your shoulders back. Exhaling, lifting your upper body off the mat. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lowering down. So with this one, I want you to press your pubic bone into the mat. It's going to protect your lower back. And we shouldn't be gripping too much with our bum. Legs are nice and heavy. Exhaling, rolling the humeral head back. Lifting up those hands. Lifting up the upper body. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. 1 more like this. Rolling the shoulders back. Reaching towards the toes. Lifting up the upper body. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. Place the hands on either side of you now. We're just coming into a bit of extension with our swan. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, I want you to roll your nose forward like you're rolling a marble. Lifting off the head. Pressing evenly through both palms. Lifting off the hips. And bending through the elbows. Pubic bones touching. Ribcage, sternum. The last thing to touch is your nose. Exhale again. Rolling that marble forward. Lifting off the head. Pressing evenly through both palms, arms are long, bending through the elbows. Roll yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. 1 more like this. Rolling that marble forward, pressing evenly through both palms, lifting yourself off, and then rolling yourself down. Beautiful. Pressing back through those hands, coming into a 4-point kneeling position. So I'm going to give you 2 options. You can either continue with your triceps in this position, so you're going to bend and bring your upper body down towards the ground, then exhale, press away. If you would like more of a challenge, walk the knees back, cross the feet over, press your hips towards the floor. From here, you're going to inhale, bend those elbows, exhale, press away. So we're drawing our elbows back towards our thighs. It's a little movement. But we want to hold nice and steady throughout our core. 5 more here. We've got our last 4. 3 to go. Our last 2. 1 more here. Nice. From here, we're going to send our elbows out wide. So instead of back towards our thighs, we're inhaling, drawing our chest down, exhaling, pressing away. Sending those elbows out wide to the side. Engaging the lats. And feel like you're pulling the mat apart with your hands. Can we do our last 4 here? Inhaling, exhaling, pressing away. We've got 3 to go. Our last 2. And we've got 1 more here. Drawing back into our child's pose. Separate those knees, keep the feet together, reach the arms long. Inhale through the nose for a count of 3. And then exhale, release everything. Expand your rib cage out towards the sides and also towards the mat and up towards the ceiling. Inhaling and then exhaling, release. 1 more here. Inhaling and then exhaling, releasing that. Coming back to that 4-point kneeling position, we're coming into our leg pull front. So you're going to walk your feet out, hold steady through the belly, it's like a plank, and from here can you float your right leg off? Just holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower that right leg, left leg is floating off, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering that down, float the right leg off again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it down, left leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it down, lower the knees and come onto your side. So from here we're supporting our head with our left hand. I want you to bring your knees so they're in line with your hips and your knees are together, ankles are together. With your bottom waist, reach it away from the floor. So that means you're sending your hip down towards that wall. From here, we're just opening that top leg and closing. Opening it up and closing. Exhaling, opening. Inhale to close. So working into our glute med. Using your breath. Exhaling, opening up. This is when the serious burn comes in for that glute. Using your breath. We've got 5 to go. Our last 4. 3 to go. 2. Last one here. Let's float that leg off again. Hold it here so it's in line with your hips. Tiny little circles in one direction. We've got 5 more in this direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse those circles now. Little circles, working through that glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg here. Can you extend it long and then bend? Reach that leg out long on a diagonal. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhale, reach the leg long. Inhale to bend. Holding nice and steady throughout our torso. Shoulders are down. Using your breath. We have 5 more here. Our last 4. 3 to go. 2. Our last 1. Keep reaching that leg long. Can you sweep it forwards? Flex the foot. Exhale, drawing it back. Point the toes. Inhale, sweeping it forward. Flex the toes as you draw that leg back. Feel like you're resisting against water as you drag that heel back so it's in line with your body again. Using your breath. Inhale, floating that leg forward. Exhale, drawing it back. We've got 3 more here. Working that glute. We've got our last 2. Good. And our last one here. Can we float that leg forward again? Flex the foot. Point the toe towards the ground. Lifting and lowering that leg. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there, last 2, and 1, lowering that leg down, tap out that glute. You can really start to feel that burn right at the end, tapping out that leg. All right, from here, we're going to just bring our elbows so it's in line with our shoulders, knees are together, we're holding our side plank here. So it's a modified side plank. Exhaling, let's press away from the floor, lifting up the hips, arms coming up if you wish. Holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping the hip down halfway. Exhale, pressing away. Inhaling and exhaling. We've got 8 to go. Our last 7, 6, 5. Starting to feel that glute. 4, 3, 2. And our last one here. Lowering down, swapping over to the other side for our glute work. Alrighty, supporting our head with our hand. Bring those knees in line with the hips. Ankles are in line with the knees. From here, hands either onto the hips or onto the floor. Reach that top hip away so you're creating space between your bottom waist and that mat. Exhaling, opening up that leg. Inhale to lower down. Holding nice and steady throughout the abdominals. Opening and closing. Working into that left glute. Shoulders are down, chest is wide. Inhaling and exhaling, lifting it up. Inhale, exhale. Using your glute. Can we do 5 more here? Then we're coming into those circles. 4, 3 to go. Our last 2. 1 more here. Let's float that leg off again. Tiny little circles in one direction. Working that glute. We've got 5 more in this direction. Our last 4, 3 to go. 2, 1. Let's reverse those circles in the other direction. Nice. Using your glute. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Keep that leg up. Extend it long. And then bend. Reaching that left leg long. Inhale to bend. Exhaling. Inhaling. Holding steady throughout the belly. Using your breath. Nice work, guys. 5 to go. Our last 4. We've got 3, 2, and our last 1. Sweeping that top leg forward. Flex the feet. Draw it back in line with us. Point the toes. Inhaling and then exhaling. Remembering we're holding nice and steady throughout our pelvis. We're not letting that shift back and forth. We're controlling this movement with our lower abdominals. Inhaling. Exhale, flex the foot, draw it back. Remembering that we're resisting against water as we draw that heel back. Good. Inhale, exhaling. We've got 3 more here, then we're coming into those 10 lift and lowers. Our last 2. Using your breath, last one here. Point that toe forward, flex the foot, point it towards the ground, lowering and lifting. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower that leg, pat out that glute. That really hurts, those ones. They get you towards the end. All right, coming into our side lifts. So our elbows in line with the shoulders. Hips are nice and stacked, knees are together, ankles are together. Exhaling, pressing away from the floor, lifting up the hips. Left arms reaching up, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down just halfway. Exhale, pressing away. Inhaling and exhaling. We've got 8 more here. Our last 7. 6 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 more here. And lowering it down. Nice work. Rolling onto your back. From here, I'm going to give yourself a nice glute stretch. So bring that right leg over the left knee, grab behind the left thigh, and just open up that right glute, stretch it out. That's one of the greatest things about Pilates is that you work a muscle, get it really tight, and then you release it. So you're elongating that muscle as you stretch it out, which creates that nice long lean effect in the body. Using that breath, inhaling and exhaling. 1 more here. And then exhale, release. Release that right leg, place it onto the ground. Left leg's on top, opening up that leg, grab behind your right thigh and get that release. Shoulders are down. Just imagining that muscle is lengthening each time that you stretch it. Inhale here and exhaling. Working through that glute. 1 more breath. And exhale. Good. Release that left leg towards the ground now. So we're coming into our move of the week, which is the dead bugs, which is so good for the abdominals. It's just that deep abdominal connection, and once you've got that, you can unlock a lot of other ab moves. So we've got neutral spine here, arms along by your side. You're going to exhale, float your right leg up into tabletop. Inhale to lower it down. Exhaling, float the left leg up. Inhale to float it down. So the only thing that's moving is the lower extremities. Our pelvis is nice and heavy. Imagine you've got a sandbag across your pelvis and it's not moving. We're just floating the legs up, and this is from the lower abs, not from the hip flexors. So really start to think of where that movement is coming from. Floating your right leg up and lowering it down. We've got our left leg, lowering it down, adding in the arm movement. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhaling, floating it up. Inhale to lower down. Left arm comes up as the right leg sweeps off the floor and lowering down. Good. Using your breath. We've got 4 more like this. Using your pelvic floor for 3. We've got our last 2. Good. 1 more like this. Good. Lowering the legs down. Float both legs up from here. So they're coming into tabletop. We're coming into our toe tap. So it's like the opposite of the dead bug. Inhaling and then exhaling. Engaging those lower abdominals. You're going to feel this a little bit more. Using your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Floating both arms up now. As you reach your right leg down, reach the left arm back behind you. Exhale, draw back through center. Opposite arm, opposite leg is reaching. Using your breath, and so this one's great for coordination and balance. Just feel like your torso is nice and strong. It's solidified. It's like concrete. It's not moving in either direction. We're controlling this movement from our lower abs and our shoulders. We've got 4 to go. Our last 3. We've got 2. Last one here. Keep the legs into tabletop. Interlace the fingers together. Reach behind the neck. We're supporting our neck with our hands. We're going to exhale, come into our chest lift. Inhale to lower down. Exhaling, coming into our chest lift. Inhale to lower down. Using your breath here. Scooping up that little bit higher. Working into those abdominals. We've got that neutral spine. We're not flattening it into the mat. And just peeling the tips of the shoulder blades off. We've got 6 to go. Our last 5. 4 to go. 3. 2. Last 1. As we lower the upper body down, can we lower the feet down to the ground? Exhaling, scooping up. Last little bit here. Using your breath. Can we do 6 more? We've got our last 5. 4 to go. 3. We've got 2. And our last one here. Lowering the legs down, lowering the arms. So starting to feel those abdominals really kicking in. From here we're coming into our bridging. So bring your feet a little bit closer towards your pelvis. They're still hip width apart. We're going to exhale, tilt that pelvis back. Press evenly through both feet, lifting off the hips. Rolling yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Release the tailbone at the end. Exhaling, tilting back, lifting up the hips. Rolling yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Release the tailbone. Last one here. Exhaling, pressing evenly through both feet. Rolling yourself down. On this next one, we're going to keep the hips up nice and high. Can we come down just halfway? Exhale, squeeze through both glutes. Coming up. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We've got 6 to go. We've got our last 5. We've got 4, 3 to go. Our last 2. Last one here. Keep the hips high, keep the pelvis even. Float your right leg up, lower it down. Float the left leg up, lowering it down. So we're alternating legs, and keep even pressures through both feet as you press away. We don't want that pelvis to drop down on either side. So we're working into our quad, working our hammies, and definitely working the glutes. Floating the leg up, holding nice and steady, supporting that lumbar spine. 3 to go. Our last 2. 1 more here. Float the right leg up, holding it here. We're coming down halfway. Exhale, pressing away. We've got 4 more. Our last 3. Squeezing into that left glute for 2. 1 more here. Float the right leg down, floating the left leg up. We've got 5 little pulses. Our last 4. 3 to go. 2. 1 more like this. Lower the left leg down. Roll yourself down all the way. From here, arms out a little bit wider. Just drop your knees from side to side. So dropping them over to the right hand side. Keep the left shoulder blade intact. Draw back through center. Over to the left side. Keep the right shoulder blade intact. Using your breath. Dropping them all over. Stretching out the lower back. Good. 1 more either side. And our last one here. Good. From here, just grab onto the back of the legs. Draw yourself up into seated. We've got a little bit of an abdominal challenge. Float the legs into tabletop. Reach the arms out long. From here, you're going to roll back. Extend the arms and legs. And then from here, draw the arms up towards the ceiling. Draw the knees in close to the chest. Come back to that starting position. So roll yourself back. Control this movement. Reach both arms and legs long. Exhaling, scooping yourself up. Controlling this movement. Inhale, reaching back. Extending those arms and legs. Drawing yourself back in. We've got 5 more here. Using your breath. Drawing up. We've got our last 4. 3 to go. Using those abdominals. Our last 2. And 1 more here. Drawing up, lowering those legs down. Nice work. We're going to come into our mermaids. So bring your right leg in front, left leg behind. Reach the arms out long. Inhale, place your right hand onto the mat. Bend through the elbow. Reach the left arm long. Exhale, press away from the floor. Reach in the other direction. It's going to get that nice stretch. And stretching out that work that we did in the last 2 days. We really worked those side waists. Getting that release. Reaching up and over. On this next one, place the hand down. You're going to thread that left arm through the right arm, back through center. So you're rotating the torso. Feel the rib cage is rotating around. And trying to bring that left shoulder through that arm. 1 more here. Good. Drop back through center. Swapping feet. Arms are reaching out long. Place the left hand onto the ground. Reaching up and over. Getting that stretch. Pressing through that left arm. Feeling that release. Feels good. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Using your breath. Stretching out through the body. 1 more here. Coming up and over. On this next one, place the left hand down. Right arm's coming over. Thread that right arm through. Come back through center. And again, drawing it through. Back through center. Using that rib cage to turn and to twist. Getting that release. Just 2 more here. And our last one. Draw back through center. Coming into our saw now. So with your legs, I want you to sit nice and firm onto your sit bones. And with your legs, just abduct them out to 45 degrees. Sitting up nice and tall. So imagine that you've got a string at the top of your head. You're reaching up tall. With your arms, I want you to reach them out to the side. Inhale here. And as you inhale, you're going to twist your rib cage. So it's a whole movement. Twisting the rib cage. With your left arm, you're reaching it to the outside of your right leg. Look back towards your right arm. Draw back through center. Inhale, turning around from the rib cage. Reaching up and over. Look towards the left hand. Draw back through center. So this one's a nice stretch for the hamstrings. It's good to mobilize the spine. Reaching up and over. Using your breath. Twisting, extending, back through center. Good, we've got one more on each side. Rotating around, twisting down, draw back through center. The last one here. Good, draw back through center. Beautiful. We're coming into our pigeon stretch here. So if you have a tight glute muscle, you can reach the left leg long, draw the right leg up and over, and with your left hand wrap around the right leg and look towards that right arm or that right shoulder. If you feel like that's a little bit too easy, bend that left leg and you're going to get more of an intense stretch throughout the glute. Using your breath, inhaling and then exhaling. Inhale here and then exhale, release it. Now unwinding yourself from that little pretzel move, swapping over to the other side. Wrapping around with your right arm, looking over that left shoulder, getting that deeper stretch and release throughout the left glute. Inhaling here. And then exhale, release. Inhaling. And then exhaling. One more breath here. And then exhale. Good. Release that left leg. Let's come onto all fours now. So coming into that cat-cow position. Can you tuck those toes in underneath? And we're just going to press away from the floor. Lift off those knees. Just holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the hips up high. Coming to that downward dog position. Pedal through the feet. We've got 6 pedals here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down. Have a little breather because we're coming into another set. Exhale, let's press away from the floor. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the hips up high. Pedal through those heels. We've got 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend those knees coming down. We've got our last set like this. Exhale, pressing away from the floor. Lifting up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the hips up high, pedal through those feet. We've got 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend through the knees, coming on down. Untuck those toes. We're just going to round through the spine. Inhale, look towards the navel. And then exhaling, releasing the abdominals. Looking towards your bellies. I should say belly, not plural. And then release the head and the tailbone. Exhaling, pressing away. Inhaling to release. One more like this. Looking towards that belly button. And then releasing everything. Coming into a child's pose position, so separate those feet. Separate the knees, bring the feet together, reach the arms out long. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, releasing everything. Inhale again, so a deep belly breath. And then exhale, release. You can allow your forehead to come down. One more here. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Walk your hands over to the right side. Place your left hand on top. Breathe into the left rib cage. And then exhale, release. Inhaling here. Exhale, release. One more breath. Walk the hands over to the left hand side. Place your right hand on top. Reach into that right side waist. Take a deep belly breath here. And then exhale, release. Inhaling again. Exhale. One more breath. Good. You're going to finish this with a nice quad stretch. So laying onto your belly. Just bring your left arm in front You can rest your forehead onto that hand, reach behind with your right leg, and just draw it in a little bit closer into your bottom. Stretching out that quad, using your breath. If you want, you can try and lift it off. Might feel a little bit intense though, but just get that release. Squeezing it a little bit closer into your bottom if you can. And when you're ready, swapping over to the other side, releasing that right leg, grabbing hold of it with your left hand, and bring your right arm up to support your head. Taking a few breaths here, stretching out the quad, especially because we worked it quite hard at the start with our jumping squats. Now if you would like, you can grab behind with both legs and just press into the feet or into the palms of the hands with your feet. Lift off your chest and lower yourself down. We've just got 3 more like this. Exhaling, pressing away, lifting off the chest, shoulders are down. Inhale to release. Exhaling up for 2. And we've got our last one here. Stretching out, lowering down. Release the feet. Place your hands on either side. Pressing evenly through both hands. Come back into that child's pose position. Reach the arms out long. One more breath here. You can sway the body from side to side if that gets a nice stretch into the back. And then draw yourself back through center. Press the palms in and roll yourself up nice and tall. Rolling those shoulders back for 3, 2, and 1. You're all finished.